Hey everyone, RogueGold here, and welcome to March, everybody. Division's big month, its birthday month, is here. It's really crazy, honestly. It felt like not that long ago when I made my Division's 5th anniversary video, but that was just about a year ago now. We are now about to enter Division 2's 4th year, well, 3 total years since release, and pass the Division 1's 6th birthday. If you were unaware, or maybe you are newer to the community, March is usually, and I stress usually, a big month for the franchise. It has hosted a lot of the IP's major releases and announcements ever since this whole thing kicked off. Division 1 was released in March of 2016. In March of 2017, we got an entire roadmap for Division 1's second year. In March of 2018, we got the announcement for the Division 2. In March of 2019, the Division 2 was released. And in March of 2020, the game's first expansion, Warlords of New York, released. And then we have 2021. The reason that I said usually a big month is that things were notably a little bit different last year. A lot of things were changing behind the scenes. You know the story by now. Basically, our news dump came in February instead of March, where it was laid out to us what the future of the Division 2 was going to look like, but there wasn't any sort of big event or stream like in years past, and they saved the Division Universe stuff for 2 months later in May. However, that anomaly aside, I am personally expecting a return to tradition this year. I think in the next 4 weeks, we are set to get some pretty big news regarding the Division 2's highly anticipated and long-awaited new content. And so in this video, I want to break down the things that we know publicly that indicate what might be coming, and then provide my own prediction as for how things are going to play out over the course of this month, because I really do think that the time is finally upon us, and I'm super excited. So if that sounds good to you, you want a little preview of what might be to come this month, then sit back and relax, because we're jumping right into it. Here is what we know for fact, without question. The Division 2's new content and update was slated for February last month. That was conveyed to us by Massive back in October of 2021. Then in mid-December, they announced that they just needed more time, and because of that, delayed the Division 2's new update to a later date in 2022. That was their exact wording that was used. And so, since then, silence. It's pretty crazy now to think about the fact that had that not happened, we'd have the update right now. But anyway, that was obviously very sad to hear, but hopefully will lead to further polish and quality once this new update does finally drop. The big questions left by this delay were, what's going to happen in-game until the new content arrives? The Season 4 rerun, Season 7, had been extended to a whopping 22-week duration, I believe it was, and was running all the way until mid-February, which can only be assumed to be what the new content's date was initially supposed to be. Then a few weeks back, we finally got word that to fill the time until the new content, the team was finally going to rerun Season 2, which was skipped last time around as Season 8. Now that began right around 2 weeks ago from the time I'm posting this video. What was particularly intriguing about this rerun, however, was that unlike a normal 12-week season run, unlike Season 7, which was extended, Season 8 was going to be shortened. Regardless of its in-game timer, because I think that thing is completely untrustworthy at this point, I'll put it up on screen for you to see. Season 8's events are scheduled to conclude after 10 weeks on April 26th of 2022, which again is 2 weeks shorter than a normal season. On top of that, we're seeing them do things in here that they'd never done before with any previous season. Namely, they started the Termite League on the same day as the season began. Usually those come out a week later, and the new target openings are by themselves. They've entirely removed the Titan League from the latter portion of the season run, all of this culminating in a 10-week season. That is what we know right now publicly. All right, moving into my own outlook on all of these different bits of information, though, this decision was absolutely not arbitrary, all right? Now, again, this stuff is not confirmed. This is my own prediction. Take it with a grain of salt and leave your own predictions down below. I'd be curious to hear them. But I think this season rerun was absolutely intentionally shortened in order to fit it in before the targeted release date of the new content post-delay, which would presumably either be on April 26th, right as Season 8 ends, or May 3rd if you build in a 1-week gap, which they have done sometimes in, seasons past. Now, plenty of people are in agreement of this by now, and, I was giving that prediction out weeks ago. The big question and kind of the big topic of this video is, what sort of timeline does that lay out for a reveal and for the PTS, which was very clearly stated as something they still intend on doing in the delay announcement post. I think it's this month. Division's PTSs have ranged always anywhere between 2 to 4 weeks, I want to say, and so let's take the average of that and say they plan on running a 3-week PTS. In order to have time to run that, have a few weeks period afterward in order to implement feedback, this thing's got to get moving pretty quickly. Now, the one thing we can account for is a pretty short window between the reveal and the PTS. In years past, I remember this more vividly with the Division 1, but I'm sure it happened in 2 as well. The devs would reveal an update on, let's say, a Tuesday or maybe a Wednesday if it was a state of the game day, and then that very Friday, they'd kick off the PTS. That's usually something they're prepared for well before the reveal comes around. So I think having the PTS end by like the first full week of April makes sense to me. April 8th, maybe the 15th, depending on if they stick a week in between season 8 and 9 or not, which would, mean that if it runs for 3 weeks, things should kick off pretty quickly here. Now, I'll stress one more time, this is my own prediction. We do not know for fact as of right now that this is going to happen, but if you want my advice, keep your eyes peeled for Division 2 news over the next few weeks. Basically, anytime between the 7th and the 25th would be my guess, because again, you don't run a shortened season for no reason. There's clearly a timeline in place that they are trying to fit with. Having the update drop right at the beginning of May would be pretty much exactly a 3-month delay from when it was initially intended to release. And, given the circumstances and how long they've already been working on it, that feels just about right for them to have that little extra time to tighten things up, polish as needed. I really do think we are finally set to get the unveiling of this stuff this month. I think they fully intend on capitalizing on March as Division's big month to finally showcase the Division 2's future to us. Whether that means we might get a stream with Yannick, Trick, and whoever else who knows, or it could just be a very long, detailed article letting us know what we need to know before heading into the PTS. I think it's also possible that this reveal and PTS stuff could come alongside the delayed apparel event from December. Again, we don't really know why that was pushed off, but it was set to drop 2 months before the update in February. March would be roughly 2 months before this new target date of end of April, early May, and so I could totally see them making this big splash this month by unveiling the update in its entirety, kicking off the PTS, and having this all coincide with a brand new apparel event in the live game. It's an exciting time to be a Division fan. This 13-month wait has been hard. Believe me, I'm right there with you. And so again, keep your ears perked up for news in these coming weeks, because I personally believe that we're at the end of the road with all this stuff. And hopefully I'm right. I guess we'll know before too long now. And that concludes my recap on what you need to know and what I believe you should expect regarding the Division 2 heading into the month of March. Thank you all so much for watching. Leave a like if you enjoyed this video, and be sure to subscribe with notifications on so you can be updated every time I upload. Let me know your thoughts on all of this craziness. How do you interpret Season 8's shortened runtime? Do you believe that the update is scheduled to drop sometime in late April or early May? And what news, if any, do you think we can expect to receive this month? There's certainly a lot riding on this new Division 2 update. It's been a long wait. There are a lot of expectations, but personally, I'm optimistic for what lies ahead. And so, can't wait to see what's next. That's going to do it for me today, though, everybody. Once again, thank you all so much for watching. I hope you have a wonderful day. And until the next one, guys, RogueGold out.